Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Ultrascan diagnostics here. This is the CBCT of the patient that you had requested. The area of interest is the upper right, second premolar region, and the upper left, first premolar region. Now, these are edentulous ridges. On the panoramic view, we can clearly see that we've got two edentulous spaces. We can see a architecture of a previously extracted tooth. On the left side, we can see architecture which seems to be grafted bone. Now, taking you to the implant placement, we are going to first measure the ridge on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, we've got approximately 5.5 mm of ridge width with a 12 millimeters of ridge height. The bone quality in this region is D3 because we don't have very thick cortical plate, but this seems to be very good grafted bone, and we don't see any problems with implant placement in this region. Moving to the upper right hand quadrant, this is the proximal view. The proximal view is basically you looking at the tooth from a this is a transaxial view, and you're looking at the tooth from a proximal aspect. So here the bone is much more in width, approximately 7 millimeters, but the bone height is insufficient, so we've got 6.3 millimeters. We would highly recommend that, even since there is no sinusitis present in this sinus and associated with this edentulous area, we would recommend that a internal sinus lift should be applied with or without bone grafting. But an internal sinus lift will give you approximately 8 millimeters of implant length, which should be suitable and stable for this region. Now, we have placed the implants for our kind doctor, and those implants look like this. This is the implant on the upper right hand quadrant. We placed a generic implant. This is a 4.1 with a 4.1 with 8 millimeters of length, and the implant on the top left hand quadrant, this is the top left hand, and you can see this is a 4.1 11, but here we would like to place a 3.8 with 11.5 millimeters of length. So these are the two implants that we've placed. This is how the implants look on the 3D rendering and implant placement, and these are prosthetically driven. So the yellow parts you see are for the crown portion. Even a straight abutment should be sufficient for implant placement. The implant, we will also share the implant planning report. Looking at the tooth from a axial point of view, axial is basically looking at the tooth from top to bottom. You can see the implants are placed quite center of the ridge, even compensating for the slight dip in the cortical plate here, but the grafted bone is doing its sufficient. We don't see any pathologies in this region, and we would highly advise that implant placement done correctly will be very suitable for the patient. Thank you very much.